I don't know what to start off with.
They'll just put you like in the middle or something. You don't have to say anything.
Just gather your thoughts.
My first idea of camp was a lot of drama, and I thought it's gonna be a big waste of money, and this is just a dumb idea to go because I've gone to so many other ones. But I feel like this camp, I've gone through a lot, and this one has definitely helped me the most. It mostly started the first night when we got there, when I noticed like how stressed out I was about the people I was rooming with, and you know, I was focused on a lot of the things of the world, like, oh, you know, I don't want to go over my texting limit and all these things, and it was really kind of dumb. And I think mostly the second night when Pastor Nick started talking, he asked anybody if we needed prayer, and I went up to him and I said, I feel like I'm not good enough. I feel like there's something wrong with me. I feel like I've gone through so much in my life and I'm just still being tempted, and I'm not worth anything, and I was really hurt by it. And he said, God just wants you to know he loves you and he adores you so much, and you mean so much to him. And you're a warrior because you've been through so much, and you just have so much sin that you've had in your past and so much temptation now. But you see God's light and you're continuing and being okay, and you're doing really good. My response was, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But he really started going deeper in it, and he's like, you have problems with your mom, you have problems with your family, you look for your self-worth in your friends and in guys, and you need to stop doing that. And I seriously started crying because I was like, how does he know all this? And I just started crying, and I didn't know what to do. And he prayed over me. And I just felt like so happy to know that God was proud of me, and he did love me, and he did care about me. And when I went out to my friends that night, they saw me crying, and that's not a very normal thing to see me crying. I'm not a very sensitive person. And they were just like, what's wrong, what's wrong? And I told them, you know, he prayed over me and he knew so much, and you know, God loves me. And they're just like, well, I told you that a long time ago. And I'm like, wow, you know, that's so amazing. And that night when I fell asleep, I just kept thinking of what Pastor Nick said over and over and over again. He loves you, you're his warrior, you're strong, and all this stuff. And I just felt so happy to be, you know, loved by God. And the morning I woke up, and I had negative thoughts again, and I just kind of blew off what he said. And I've had 4 different people come up to me and tell me what, you know, Pastor Nick said about finding your self-worth in God and not in people. And I was just like, how did they all know that? Like, they're psycho, like, what's going on? Or, you know, they're weird. And then that night, Pastor Nick said to everybody, if you hear the same thing over and over again from people, that's God reassuring you. And I was just like, you know what, he's right. And then Pastor Nick said, I feel like you're gonna go and do missionary work, and you're gonna preach to people and help out. And I was like, that is not my thing to do. I don't like being on stage, like, that's just gross. And then I thought, well, I have 2 mission trips options next year, and I'm on the worship team now, and maybe that's what he's talking about. But then I got the feeling of, I'm not good enough. I don't deserve to be loved by him. I don't deserve to be on the worship team. Like, God doesn't love me. Like, I'm not good enough. And he said, don't think that. He said, God loved you. He thinks you're amazing. He made you the way he wanted you to be. And I said, well, also I'm really sick. And I said, I don't know what's wrong with me right now. And I said, I'm having a lot of problems. And he just told me, just pray about it. You'll be okay. But keep going. So we just keep going? Okay. And when I got home, I found out that I have hypothyroidism, and that scared me because I knew my mom had it, and she's always struggled throughout her life with weight her emotional states, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna be okay. I'm gonna go crazy, and they're gonna have to put me on all these meds, and I'm just gonna be all drugged out, and I'm gonna be not normal. And we called my doctor, and he said, you still have it, but we'll give you a very low dosage, and it should straighten out your emotions and all the problems you have, and you should do better. And I just look back to everything at camp, and I just, that was so worth it. All the money and everything, I was just like, that was amazing. And so, that's my testimony. I'm leaving.